Let's check out Hawkeye issue 4, Daredevil Strikes. Where we last left off, Hawkeye stole a self-modeled decoy of himself to fool people that he wasn't Ronin. He later went and infiltrated a warehouse run by the Red Hood. He found a whole bunch of people dead in the warehouse, and then he runs into Daredevil with his hands in a cookie jar. So now Hawkeye is saying to himself, this is bad. Now Daredevil knows I'm Ronin. Now everybody's gonna know. So he knows, and he tells Daredevil that I wasn't the guy who killed all those people in the warehouse. So Daredevil was saying, yeah, it wasn't you, it was Ronin. Ronin has to be stopped at all costs. And Hawkeye is like shocked. Are you crazy? Can't this guy see I'm in a Ronin costume? Is this guy blind? So Hawkeye waves his hand to see if Daredevil's blind. Daredevil catches his hand and says, nah, this guy ain't blind. So Daredevil wants to meet up with a team called a task force to take out Ronin. So Hawkeye meets up with a team called the task force, and the task force isn't an official team. It's a team of people who Daredevil calls together. So whoever is together in that day, they will be considered the task force. So Hawkeye meets up with Night Thrasher, Falcon, and the Winter Soldier, and they are trying to stake out one of the Red Hood's hideouts to try to take out Ronin. So Hawkeye basically gets tired with the stakeout because he knows that he's not going to show up as Ronin, so he takes out 2 of the guards. He goes into the warehouse where Red Hood is. Red Hood is there, and he's there with a group of dudes. So now it's it's Hawkeye versus the Red Hood and his gang. So Hawkeye does his best to take out most of the gang members to try to take out the Red Hood, but the Red Hood has magical powers from his Red Hood. That's why they call him the Red Hood. So Hawkeye shoots arrows. Red Hood has used his magic to, to take out the arrows. And at this point, Red Hood is saying that you really want to be my nemesis, but I deserve better. You're Hawkeye. You're the worst Avenger. Why the hell would I want you as a nemesis? So pretty much, Red Hood smashes Hawkeye's face into the ground. He puts a gun to his head and tells him that I normally would love to humiliate you, but I'd rather just kill you. So Hawkeye pulls the arrow and puts it right to the Red Hood's jugular and wants to know, are you quick enough, punk? So both of these guys are at a standoff, and the rest of the task force is coming in. So the Red Hood had to take him and his men in retreat. And pretty much the guys in the task force wondering, yo, what the hell are you doing, man? This is supposed to be a stakeout. You totally messed the whole thing up. So Hawkeye is back in his brownstone building, and he's with his self-modeled decoy, wearing one of his old uniforms from back in the 80s and 90s, one of those weird-looking uniforms. And Bryce comes in and wants to know what happened to you. You got beat up. Did Red Hood mess you up? And he's pretty much saying that you shouldn't mess with the Red Hood. He's a bad dude. Don't mess with him. And he's saying he has to do something because, this guy has the mayor and everybody in his pocket, so he'll never go to jail. So the best way to hurt this guy is to hurt him financially. Hit all his spots where he makes his money and hit him hard, and so he'll go broke. And that will stop him. So Bryce pretty much went and hacked into a sword thing and to find out all the aliens in the world, so Hawkeye would know where all the aliens are at. So we go into a New York train, I think it's G train, but we have a train performer, a subway performer, and I live in New York City, and these guys are freaking annoying. These guys that fucking dance on the poles, you never know if they're gonna fall on you or kick you in the face. I hate these guys, and they always dance next to me. But anyway, so Hawkeye is pretty much in the crowd watching this dance performer dance. Hawkeye gives this guy a huge tip. Dude is happy. And Hawkeye also yokes this guy, manhandles this guy, and takes him out of the train. And he tells the guy, I want you to do me. I want you to change into me. So he changes to Hawkeye. I want you to change it back into a Skrull. So this guy is a Skrull. So Hawkeye wants to pay this guy money to pretty much act like Ronin, so nobody will suspect he's Ronin. So Hawkeye meets up with the task force. He's realizing, damn, there's more members on the task force now. Now you got Mockingbird, you got D-Man, and you have freaking US Agent. For all you guys who don't know, US Agent and Hawkeye have a long-standing history. These guys have a history from the West Coast Avengers. And pretty much their history is These guys don't like each other one bit. These guys fought each other. These guys beat each other to a pulp. These guys hate each other. They don't like each other at all. So the task force is split up into 3 squads, teams of 2, and US Agent and Hawkeye end up being teammates together. So US Agent's going on about how he missed the West Coast Avengers, how he even misses Hawkeye. And Hawkeye is saying, I don't miss shit. Ends up shooting this guy in the back of the head, knocking him unconscious. So the Skrull guy that's pretending to be Ronin wants to know what you just did. You just killed Captain America. Are you crazy? Why did you do that? And Hawkeye is saying this guy is not Captain America. He's US Agent, somebody that acts like Captain America. So they're having a back and forth dialogue, and someone calls Hawkeye, Bryce calls Hawkeye and tells Hawkeye that, yo, the self-model decoy is gone, and the Ronin costume, he took it. So the guy might have got confused and heard your plans and thought he might have to go there and be Ronin. So now the self-model decoy shows up. So now there's 3 Clint Bartons. Hawkeye shoots the self-model decoy in the face, I guess killing it, just deactivating it. And the Skrull is like, yo, you just killed that guy. And Clint Barton said it was a robot, don't worry about it. So they dumped the robot in the river, hoping the robot would sink. Hawkeye and the Skrull has to change places now. Now the Skrull has to be Hawkeye and act like Hawkeye, and now Hawkeye has to be Ronin again. So the task force sees Ronin. Ronin runs. He runs into like a little ditch thinking nobody's gonna be there. He runs into a red boot. And that red boot belongs to Spider-Man. And Spider-Man is pissed. Ronin tells Spider-Man, get out of my way. I don't want to have to kill you. Spider-Man says, cut this shit, Hawkeye. I know it's you. I know who you are. Cut this shit. Hawkeye wants to know, how'd you know it was me? Spider-Man said, I staked out your apartment all night. I saw you leave in a Ronin costume. Hawkeye tells Spider-Man some bullshit about he's on a secret mission for Captain America. Spider-Man allows him to leave. The task force couldn't find Ronin, so they decided to look for him another time. Some of the members realizing that Skrull Hawkeye is acting pretty weird, and Skrull Hawkeye runs into no other than Bullseye, and the comic ends there. I really enjoyed this comic, and I'm really enjoying the series. It's very campy, very funny. It's very good. There's enough violence in there. I really like this comic. Even though the cover was clickbaity, I thought it was going to be Daredevil versus Hawkeye, but I enjoyed it nonetheless. If you like my content, rate, comment, subscribe. Take it easy. Later.